Hey guys, it's Marcus and welcome back to my channel. Excuse my oily face and my zit that's on my nose that makes me look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, even though Christmas is over. Before this video starts, I just wanted to say that this is recorded for the students of Evergreen. That's my alma mater. I was given the opportunity to make like a motivation video for the graduating class. So that's the context of this video in case I start saying like, oh, I have a YouTube channel and stuff. Yeah, I hope that if you are taking your O-levels this year or you're getting your results and you're wondering where to go next, I hope this video helps you because I do talk about my own O-level journey as well as the reasons why I picked going to a junior college over a polytechnic, my experiences in a junior college, and where that has led me today. So yeah, enjoy the video. Are you currently sitting for your O-levels and you're very stressed about this national exam coming your way, about to determine your future? And are you a little lost and in need of some guidance from an EVG alumni? Well then, look no further. Hello Evergreen, it's been a while. To my teachers who thought they'd seen the last of me, I'm back! To the Sec 4 and 5 students sitting for their O-levels this year, I know it's gonna be a stressful year. Trust me, I've been there, but I'm here to make it a little less stressful. But before I go any further, you're probably wondering who is this beautiful human being on the screen, so let's get acquainted. My government name is Kishan, but you guys can call me Marcus. I'm actually an EVG alumni. I graduated in 2015. That is 6 years ago. That is very long. So after my O-levels, I went on to do my A-levels at National Junior College, and now I'm currently studying in Nanyang Technological University, otherwise known as NTU, and I'm studying English literature. I remember my time in Evergreen very fondly because that's where I met some amazing friends that I'm still in contact with, unfortunately. And I've also met some amazing teachers that really changed my life. Also, if any of you are in ELDDS, I was in the drama division and I was actually your ex-vice president. Yeah, so hello. I did a Q&A with some EVG students back in 2016 after I got my O-level results back, and the number one question I got was,
how did you do for your O-levels? So what were your results?
Let me just tell you guys and put you out of your misery so you're not like wondering throughout the entire video. So here is my subject combination. So I took English, E-Maths, A-Maths, pure physics, pure chemistry, pure literature, combined social studies and geography, and basic Malay. So how did I do for my O-levels? I got an A1 for all my subjects except physics. I got an A2 for physics because I really messed up my practicals, so take your practicals seriously, guys. To tell you the truth, I did not expect to get the results that I got. I expected to do far worse. I don't really talk about this that much, but 1 hour before my first paper, which was E-Maths, gross, I know, I got a phone call from the office and my mother was on the other line. She told me that my dad was in the hospital, so my mind was like in a state of shock. I was in a frenzy, but I had to sit for my paper. So I did that and rushed all the way back to Johor Bahru to see my dad in the hospital. Yes, I am from Malaysia, for those Malaysian students who used to travel to and fro, waking up 4:30 in the morning. I feel you guys. Long story short, my dad passed away in the middle of my O-level exam period and while I was sitting for papers. So I was busy picking up the pieces of myself and trying to study and, you know, not let 4 years and all the hard work I've put into studying go to waste. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if I survived the horrid national exam, you guys can too. What's important is to believe in yourself. So here are some general tips I have for you guys for the O-levels. I know at this moment, it might seem that the O-levels are very far away, but trust me, time will pass by so fast. Before you know it, it's like 2 months before your exam, then 1 month before your exam, and you do not want to be mugging the night before your exam or your prelims. So it's important to manage your time well. Please do take the time to revise your content, especially your Sec 3 content. You want to really have a strong foundation because you're going to be learning some harder stuff in Sec 4 or 5. So make sure to have a strong foundation, and if you have any questions or any doubts at all, go to your teachers for some consultation. And the thing is, your teachers really are there to help you. If you're unclear about anything or need extra help, don't be afraid, don't be shy. That's what you are in school for, to learn. Everyone around you is learning together, and your teachers just want you to reach your full potential and for you to do well in the examinations. So go to your teachers for consultations, do some practice papers, and once again, this goes back to the whole idea about revising content whenever you have free time, because when you do those revision papers, you don't want to just be doing those time practices for 2 hours or 1 hour and 30 minutes, really racking your brain because you don't know anything, trying to come up with random answers. Trust me, I've been there. But you really want to take those seriously as a good gauge of which concepts you're unclear about, where your weaknesses lie, so that you can rectify that. Story time. I sat for my prelim exams for EMATs and I still didn't know what was going on for vectors, so I did everything else, but my whole vectors question was I got I think 2 marks out of 14 or something like that. And my math teacher, I'm gonna name names, Miss Yu, if you guys know her, she was like,
why are you only coming to me now asking me questions when it's your prelims?
so guys, don't be like me. You guys have me advising you what not to do, so don't make the same mistakes I did. So make sure you revise your content and know your content well. Another thing with doing practice papers is that you really want to time yourselves. Don't be writing an essay halfway and then taking a break to look at your phone, go through Instagram or TikTok, and don't do a math paper halfway, do 1 question and take a break, or do 2 questions and take a break. So this kind of conditions your brain to an exam setting, so that when you are sitting for the exam, your brain, this is nothing new to your brain. And the thing is, you'll definitely have that fear of sitting in an exam hall, so you're gonna be scared, cold, and stressed. So the last thing you want to freak out about is time management. So make sure when you do your time practices, know how much time to spend for each section, plan it out for each subject. I highly recommend you guys plan your time for your papers well, and time yourselves when doing the paper so you're not rushing for anything. Because like I said, you're already scared and you probably need to pee because you have to sit there for a long time, and then you can only pee. Here's what's gonna happen. You sit at the exam hall. You wait for everyone to shuffle in. There's 500 students or something like that. And then you wait for them to distribute the paper, for you to look through the paper, and then you have to wait for the time to start. Let the time pass. Then you have to collect the papers, count the papers. That's all gonna take time. And you're gonna need to pee so badly. So empty your bladder before your exam. I know that's a really random tip, but seriously. So those are the 3 general tips I have for your O-levels. It is to manage your time well in terms of revising, do practice papers and make sure it's timed practice papers, and also seek your teachers for consultations and to clarify any doubts and queries. Alright, so this is for the O-levels, but what comes after? So most of you are probably wondering,
Should I go to a poly or should I go to a junior college?
I do not have a choice. My mom was like, you're going to a junior college no matter what. You're not going to a polytechnic. But I think that that's such an outdated mindset, because where I am in university, there's a mix of students from polytechnics as well as junior colleges. It's not true that polytechnic students have a hard time getting into university. Before I go any further, I just want to say that I actually have a YouTube channel. I actually did some YouTube videos where I discussed the junior college curriculum structure, as well as an interview with my friend from a polytechnic, where we discussed our reasons for picking our respective tertiary institutions. If you'd like to check those out, follow me on Instagram at Kishan Marcus. I'll leave it up here. Links for all my YouTube videos are there. So yeah, if you want to check that out, do that. Take it down, write it down right now. Write this Instagram handle down and then go home and watch those YouTube videos. So for me personally, why I picked junior college over polytechnic, other than the fact that my mom forced me to go to a junior college, is that because I was a bit uncertain about what I wanted to do in the future, because a junior college education does give you an A-level cert that is general compared to a polytechnic where a diploma is specialized. So what this A-level certification is going to do for you is open more doors in university. So for example, if you did your A-levels and you took a physics, chemistry, math and economics, that's a basic science stream combination, you can pretty much do anything you want in university. You could do accountancy, you could do business, you could do biomedical sciences, you could even take up history, engineering. I can't think of many courses in the heat of the moment, but yeah, compared to if you went to a polytechnic and you got a diploma in business, you're probably only open to business-related degrees in universities such as marketing and business administration and stuff like that. So keep that in mind when you're choosing between a junior college and a polytechnic. So we're gonna make our final statements for why I should choose the poly life and why I should choose the JC life. Okay, so on to the reasons why one would want to go to junior college. It's faster, you save 1 year, but at the expense of like your mental health and at the expense of not getting work experience. But it's like after 2 years you end up and you can go to university straight away. Also, I know people pick JC because they're very comfortable with the O-level style of learning, doing the same thing over and over and over again to achieve results. So people who find that it works for them, they go to junior college with sort of like that safety net. For the competitive university courses like medicine and law,
Oh yeah.
then it's better for you to go to junior college. Then you have a higher chance versus a poly student. Because I'm pretty sure like a poly student has to get like...
This is where I'm like pro JC.
Yeah.
If you think, oh my god, I want a PhD, I want to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
academia. If that's your end goal, then go
JC.
ahead, go to JC because you'll need to study a lot.
Yeah.
If you want to do medicine, that's like, you gotta go to med school.
Not saying that poly students can't make it to medicine because some
But
do,
it's just-
but it's such a small number.
Yeah, there's a lot of barriers to
Yeah.
entry. If you want to do law, like there's not a lot of law courses. It's like a longer route to end up going to law school. If I'm not wrong, I don't know. But if that's your end goal, I suggest going to JC is better. Because then it's easier to go to uni, right?
What matters is the destination. So it really matters what kind of environment you think you'll thrive in. If you like a very like fast-paced, competitive lifestyle, because I know some people are into that. They just like studying and like
They're very good at studying.
yeah, it's called mugging, like those muggers.
I know some people who went to poly and are like, I hate this so much, and they're like the mugger
See,
type.
like yeah.
It's really like
It
up to
depends.
your
Yeah, it
preference.
depends on the type of person you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, man. Like I have this friend who's like, oh my god, I should have went to JC, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, so second of all, you need to really know what type of learning suits you better. If you're like me and you like where you read content, memorize some things, learn theory, and then sit for examinations where you write stuff down, and that works for you, I would highly recommend you go to junior college. Because there's some people who enjoy a more hands-on approach to learning with more group projects, presentations, and discussions, and that kind of thing. They really thrive in a polytechnic. So while both institutions do a lecture and tutorial based curriculum structure, the method of learning is different and you really need to know what suits you better. Because I have friends that went to junior college after 1 year and then they left and went to a polytechnic, and I have friends from a polytechnic that wish they went to junior college instead. So for the sake of not wasting your time and your parents' money, because school fees can be a little bit expensive, you guys should really consider what learning approach suits you better. So once you figured out whether you should go to a junior college or a polytechnic, the next question on your mind is which junior college you should go to. A lot has changed since I went to junior college. Now junior colleges have merged and the cutoff points are different and stuff, but what you should consider is that different junior colleges offer different subjects. There are some schools that offer drama elective programs, English language and linguistics, Chinese studies, music elective programs. So if those subjects interest you, you should look at which junior colleges have those subjects. And it also helps because when you kind of are set to go to junior college and you know how many points you should score, it will kind of motivate you and set a fire under your butt to work hard and achieve those points. And also, with regard to picking a junior college, don't just pick a junior college because all your friends are going. I was literally the only person in my school at National Junior College my year, and I still managed to make some great friends and make some great memories there. I know it's really tempting to go to a school where you know the people there and you'll have a circle of friends there, but I think what's important is what you want. Don't get swayed by peer pressure. You should really focus on the things you want to achieve in life and what your goals are. Because if all your friends want to go to a polytechnic and you really want to go to a junior college, go to a junior college. And if all your friends want to go to junior college X and you want to go to junior college Y, go to junior college Y. Most of my friends went to Nanyang Junior College and I was really tempted to follow suit, but I knew that National Junior College is where I wanted to go, and I'm glad I went there. Alright, so some of you guys might be wondering, how different is junior college from secondary school? Well, it's kind of the same, but also not really. Let me explain. So in junior college, you do take lesser subjects than you do in secondary school, but these subjects are more in-depth. So how teaching happens in junior college is through a lecture and tutorial system. I think you guys might have had a taste of that in secondary school, but it's not the same as having one teacher to 40 students in a classroom where you learn things and have worksheets and stuff like that. You actually go to lectures with maybe 400 other students or 500 other students, and there'll be a lecturer in front and they'll go through content with the whole cohort. And then in your tutorials, where it's a smaller group of maybe 20 something students with a teacher where you go through the work together, and that's where you can really ask any questions and clarify your doubts and practice the things that went on during the lecture. The junior college subject system is a little bit complicated, but bear with me. There is Higher 1, Higher 2, and Higher 3 for these subjects. So Higher 2 subjects is the normal amount of content that you will have for a subject. That's what most people take, that's your baseline. Higher 1 is kind of like half the content, it's like lesser. So if you're doing Higher 1 literature compared to Higher 2 literature, you'll be doing lesser books for Higher 1 literature. And if you're doing Higher 1 math, you'll be having lesser content than someone taking Higher 2 math. And then there is also Higher 3 subjects, which is kind of like uni level stuff, and I don't know if all junior colleges have that for their students, but only students who do really well in their studies are offered to take Higher 3 subjects. So Higher 3 subjects are kind of like in addition to your current subject combination, and you really get to learn things more in depth, and it's more of a coursework kind of thing that you have to submit for Higher 3. So when you go to junior college, most people will take 4 Higher 2s or 3 Higher 2s and 1 Higher 1. For me, I took a hybrid combination. I don't know if you can still do that. So I took H2 chemistry, H2 literature, H2 economics, and H1 maths. So on top of your basic subject combination of 4 subjects, you also have to take general paper, which is something like English, but they really focus more on knowing current events. So it's like the same thing as English, where you have to write an essay and do your comprehension and all that kind of stuff. They also do offer something called knowledge and inquiry in place of general paper. So knowledge and inquiry is for those who want a bit of a challenge and they're more interested in things like philosophy and all that stuff. Because knowledge and inquiry really challenges your way of thinking. It's like Higher 2 general paper, basically. I have some friends who did that and they enjoyed it, but it's a bit difficult to score. So if you guys are interested in knowledge and inquiry, you can always inquire at the junior college. See what I should stop. And then you also have to take your mother tongue. If you took a higher mother tongue, you don't have to take mother tongue in junior college. And then you also have to take project work on top of everything. Project work is of a Higher 1 weightage, and it's gonna take up a lot of your time because it's a lot of group discussion, a lot of reading, and basically you'll get a topic, you have to do research about that topic, find out what the problems are in a certain community, come up with solutions, do a presentation. It equips you with skills for the workforce as well as university, because you need to learn how to read things, write academically, and present. Not my favorite subject in junior college. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be frank. It took up way too much time on top of everything else. The only good thing that came out of project work were my group mates, which I'm still in contact with today. Alright, so the next thing you might be wondering is,
How difficult is the A-levels from the O-levels?
because you are jumping from the ordinary to the advanced. And what does the advanced entail? Let me tell you guys, it is difficult. It is really difficult. If you thought the O-levels were hard, you're in for a shock. You're in for a surprise, and not the good kind. It's like when you open up a box of chocolates hoping to get your favorite flavor, but you get like the nastiest thing inside. So junior college is very intense and fast-paced. The content that you're learning is definitely more difficult and more complicated, but you guys also have to remember, take it slow, and it's gonna take some time to adjust to a new method of learning as well as the expectations your junior colleges have from you. So remember to be patient with yourself, because I didn't do so well in the beginning of junior college because I felt like it was kind of a big jump. And the thing about junior college is a lot of it is more independent. It's really up to you to go to your teachers for consultation after class, to clarify anything, because you know, in secondary school where it's only maybe 100 or 200 students in a cohort, in a junior college it's gonna be 500 other students, so you have to learn how to be a bit more independent with your learning. Yeah, so even though the content for junior college is gonna be heavier and more complicated, I want to remind you guys to be patient with yourself, because it's gonna take time to adjust to a new method of learning and new expectations from your junior college. One more thing I forgot to mention about junior colleges is that the CCAs are so fun. Because you're in an institution that's bigger than your secondary school, you actually have a lot of options for CCAs. There are things like choir, astronomy, shooting, rock climbing, and even for dances. In my school we had Indian dance, Malay dance, Chinese dance, and Western dance. Because there are a lot more students, there there can be more CCAs for students to really explore their interests. So when choosing a junior college, you should also keep in mind what CCAs they offer, because the CCAs do vary from junior college to junior college. Get a little bit more personal and comfortable. Actually, that's a lie. I was just tired of standing up and I wanted to sit down for the rest of the video. Also some real talk. I think it's important to not let your results define you. I have always loved public speaking. I know some of you might disagree from the amount of edits I have. Literally, this is exhibit A of me not being able to speak properly, but I've always loved public speaking and speaking in front of an audience. I'm really sad I can't be there live for you guys. We're living in crazy times. Hope you guys are safe. My interest has always been in expressing myself, be it in poetry. I've actually taken part in a few poetry competitions in secondary school. I've actually written some poetry books that I'm not very proud of because I wrote them when I was in secondary school, so I'm not gonna share those links anywhere. And speaking of interests and passions, I actually pursued my passion to be a singer-songwriter. You can actually stream my music on Spotify and Apple Music at Kishan. Just search for Kishan and all my songs should appear. I guess I've always wanted to do music. I've been like singing in the shower and singing in my bedroom, and now I'm making music for my bedroom for people to hear, and I've actually gotten some reviews on my album and they've been really heartwarming, so I'm grateful for that and the opportunity to kind of share my music with the world. And the thing is, I may not be like a mega pop star or super popular in Singapore, but what's important is that I did what makes me happy and I developed my skills and talents because I wanted to and not because someone else wanted me to. It's really important for you guys to know what your interests are. It might be baking or sewing, it might be playing a sport, but remember to develop those as well, because once again, you are not just your results, you're your own person. And who is that person? Who do you see yourself becoming in the future? I'd rather you be proud of the things you've done because you had the courage to put yourself out there and do the things you like, compared to regretting missed opportunities and just mulling over the things that could have been. I guess in the remaining time of this video, I'd like to tell you guys about believing in yourself and why that's important. Literally, I've had my teacher tell me that I couldn't get higher than a B3 for English because my language was bland. Those were his exact words. And during my A-levels, I've had my literature teacher tell me, she literally said this:
Is this introduction a mystery novel? Because it is seriously lacking.
Those words haunt me to this day, but I never let the words of others bring me down. What's important is that you know your worth and you believe in yourself and you tell yourself that you can. There's this thing about the law of attraction and manifestations and all that stuff. I know it might be some spirituality mumbo jumbo that, you know, sometimes not many people subscribe to, but I think it's very important to really not lose hope and believe in yourself. You might not be doing well right now. If you guys are like getting straight A's right now, then good for you guys. But for those like me, I almost dropped at math and I almost dropped pure physics and pure chemistry through like combined science. But I was patient with myself and I worked hard and I believed that I could do it. And the second thing I want to tell you guys is to not be defined by your results, because you are so much more than the person you are on paper. You're worth so much more than some letters on a piece of paper. You are your own person, capable of complex thought, communications, interests, passions. You are also a son or a daughter, a pet owner, a friend. Remember to spend time with your family members and not just lock yourself away studying. And also remember to develop your other interests and not just study all the time. It's really cliche, but all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I literally remember going to McDonald's right after my first paper to look online for the EMF answers and like kind of gauge how I did for my paper. So yeah, don't forget to take care of your mental well-being. Remember to take breaks, spend some time with your family and friends, and most importantly, remember to spend some time with yourself. Remember to have some self-care. If you think you're studying for way too long and you're having headaches, remember to drink some water, eat some fruits, get some exercise. Yeah, I think sometimes we tend to overwork ourselves and we get too caught up on, oh, I gotta do all these things before a certain time, that we tend to neglect our own well-being. And I think we have to remember that when we take care of ourselves, we are at our most optimal condition, and that's when we learn better and absorb things better. So instead of like cramming everything, remember to take breaks and stagger your learning and your work. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys for your O-levels. I hope this advice helps you in some way. And also do remember to take everything with a pinch of salt. These are my opinions and my opinions only. Not everything I say may work for everybody. And not everything I say is the definite truth. But these are just my experiences that I thought I'd like to share with you guys. So I hope this helps you. And I wish you all the best for your O-levels. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been lovely speaking to you guys, even though it's from a screen. So remember, if you have any questions or anything, you can always ask your teachers or DM me on Instagram at Kishan Marcus. Putting this up here once again in case you missed it. If you would like to see more of me, I'll see you on my YouTube channel. Bye!